But socialism is not hinged on voluntarism. It's using a gun. It's by force you must be part of this. Well, by force you must give us your money. By force you're going to be part of our cooperative. Voluntarism is something we all support. It's when you start to use the heavy hand of the state.
I came across this wonderful video between Kirk and a student discussing about socialism. The video got me interested. I said, let me share it with my audience because you are going to learn something that you never knew concerning migration and socialism. Watch this video. When we come back, we discuss.
Do you believe that being here in America here is a right or a privilege?
Is a right and a privilege.
You have a right to be here?
Yes, I believe anybody has a right to movement to wherever they want.
So you would get rid of all borders?
Yes.
So when you land from an international flight at JFK Airport, no passport checks?
Nope.
Okay. Thank you for so bluntly telling us your view.
I'm a dirty commie, so yeah.
Yeah.
What is your definition of socialism?
Well, in the theoretical, the abstract, or the practical?
Take your pick.
So socialism, as written by Marx, is when the workers own the means of production.
Exactly.
In the actual practical, it's when a small group of very powerful, pernicious people are able to control the rest of the population under the guise of helping the many, when in reality it helps the few, and you get dictatorship, murder, and slaughter, and the revolution never actually comes.
Okay.
It ends in 100 million people dead over the last 100 years.
What about American companies that function as worker cooperatives, which are effectively socialism in practice?
That is partially some of the tenets of Marx. Of course it is. Like Publix grocery stores in Florida.
Okay. So you're in favor of worker cooperatives then?
Yeah, if it's done voluntarily. That's the key.
Yeah, exactly.
I
would agree.
For example, in a church, if you go to a church and everyone says we're going to go share this meal, that's a voluntary cooperation. But socialism is not hinged on voluntarism. It's using a gun. It's by force you must be part of this. Well, by force you must give us your money. By force you're going to be part of our cooperative. Voluntarism is something we all support. It's when you start to use the heavy hand of the state that we start to object it.
I agree. I'm not here to defend Cuba, China, the USSR, or any of that.
Or Vietnam, or
no.
Laos, or Cambodia,
or
Rhodesia, or Zimbabwe.
So basically, if we can agree that voluntary worker ownership of the means of production,
if they so choose,
okay,
it can work. It also can fall apart. There's plenty of instances where it does. Because the problem is that the incentive structure sometimes for innovation with voluntary cooperatives is not always very strong or robust. But yes, in a market, you're allowed. For example, I have no problem with the Amish living the way they do in Pennsylvania.
Neither do I.
Yes. However, I do have a problem saying we're going to force you to live like the Amish. That's where we disagree.
No, I agree with you.
Well, I'm saying, but where socialism has played out over the last 100 years.
Yes, some people have interpreted socialism
that way, yes. So for you, as a true socialist, you should go get a bunch of your buddies and friends, go out into the countryside and go live as socialists. See how long you last.
Would you be in favor of tax cuts and loopholes to people who want to start a worker cooperative and exist as a worker cooperative in a market?
I mean, I would give tax cuts for all people. But if they want to do that voluntarily in a market economy, knock yourself out.
Okay. So, we've agreed.
I think so. But here's the point. The question, will you, though, as a socialist, go out and live your value system? Will you go and, say, hey, I'm not going to own any stuff. 10 friends of I are going to go, we're going to grow our own
There's
food.
a difference between personal property and private property when it comes to socialist theory.
Okay, but
personal property is things like your toothbrush, your clothes. I would even go so far as to say your house.
Can I have two houses?
It depends.
It depends.
That's a
so
very complicated question.
So if I have a second house, you might just take it away.
That's a very complicated question that I necessarily don't really have an answer for you right now.
If you earned it, you get it. Not complicated. That's our view, right? You get what you earn. And the problem with socialism is that it is against my favorite word in the English language, earn. We believe that you should be able to receive what you earn.
No, I agree with you. As a socialist, I think you should be able to keep what you earn. Marx's critique was of the hyper-wealthy stealing the wages of hard-working people who are trying to earn.
Let me tell you what Marx got right, and then let me tell you where I think he was wrong, because I've actually read and studied Marx. Marx is correct that market forces can alienate people from their humanity. That he was very right about that.
Yep.
And you walk into like your average corporation, sometimes it's like the most soulless place you ever walk into. What he was wrong about, though, was the state of human nature. That we believe humanity, we as conservatives and Christians, were generally not so good as human beings. Marx believed humans were really good and that we're being polluted and contaminated by the societal forces around us. Racism, misogyny, capitalism, all these forces are so we have to strip down all of these external forces, and we'll be able to live as, as in wonderful harmony in the hills.
And I would agree with that.
Okay, and so that's we think that's insane that human beings are naturally good. Secondly, the idea
Wait.
Yeah, we think
Mark's saying that he wasn't saying that people are naturally good once you remove all these things. The fact that racism, sexism, all these other isms exist is proof of the fact that humans, yes, do have a tendency towards evil, bad behavior.
Well, that's not what Rousseau believed. So Rousseau was the foundational baseline for Marx, right?
So Jean-Jacques Rousseau.
Yeah, Rousseau. So Rousseau was the one who argued that it's human beings that are naturally good, and we don't have a proclivity towards this stuff. And what we'll agree is that there is a problem with widespread alienation of human beings and market forces. It's a big problem.
Yeah, and
it's
people are alienated by capitalism.
But not definitionally. Some people find a lot of purpose in their work, though. That's where I disagree with Marx.
Sure.
Is that some companies are able to create robust environments where people are happy and they're connected. It's not a fault of the system. It's a fault of some applications that happen in the system.
Okay, then we just disagree on our interpretations of Marx.
So
then.
I guess the final question, though, is you, as a socialist, can you point to a single time where this theory worked?
The Zapatistas in Mexico in 1991 when NAFTA went into effect.
How long did that last?
To this very day. It is still a region today.
And they don't own anything?
They collectively own their property.
Okay, I have to look at that example. I mean, I would point to the
Zapatistas. Rojava in Syria is an autonomous zone that has existed autonomously in spite of the Syrian civil war that's been going on there. And again, I would point to American and other businesses in other countries that function as worker cooperatives. That's socialism at work. Granted, they are in a capitalist.
We would say it's voluntarism. Yeah.
They are in a capitalist market.
How do you reconcile the Soviet Union, Chinese Communist Party, Pol Pot? How do you reconcile the failures of socialism the last 100 years?
I just disagree with their interpretation of socialism. I don't think that you should wield authoritarian power in order to force people into socialism.
So here's what we believe, and we'll close on this. Every time it will be tried at scale, a very bad person will assume control under the guise of socialism and become a permanent dictator.
I disagree with the at scale. I would argue that our modern library systems are also examples of socialism.
Wrong.
You literally come...
Someone's in charge.
I can literally walk into Hodge's library over here, check out a book for free, and they trust me to come
first
bring
of all,
it back.
It's not free. Someone paid for that book. It's called the taxpayers, so it's not free. The building has to be built. Someone has to pay for the plumbing and pay for the electricity, pay for the heating. Someone has to pay for the workers. Number two, if there is a disagreement within the library and you steal the book, what happens? You don't check out in the right process. You have an overdue fine, so there's a cost to it. You see, the library is actually a very capitalist system because if you don't rewind the old VHS
there's some
tapes...
librarians who say that overdue fines actually don't even work and they don't even provide really good incentive
nevertheless,
for people
they
to bring
still
back their
exist.
books.
But the point, if you would say the library is a hallmark of socialism, the librarian is still in charge. I'm going to get to the next question. Thank you very much. Appreciate for your time. Thank you.
I want to let you know something which is very important. It is the right of everybody on earth, everyone on earth, to move from one place to a place of your choice. Yes, and that is what the student said in this video. And according to Charlie Kirk, who says that maybe before you enter into their country or any country, you must have a passport and visa. Yes, but I want to let you know that all those things are just being done to make sure that illegal people did not enter a country. But you as a foreigner, you as a citizen, it is your right to move in all parts of the world and nobody will stop you. If not that evil things roam these days, we have so many people who are mostly corrupt in the society. That is why all those visas and passports are being introduced. Had it been that everyone is good, of which it is not possible, all this shake-up of visa or your passport will not be there. You can move to a place of your choice freely and nobody will stop you. It is your right to move to any part of the world and nobody will stop you. Yes. So whatever Charlie Kirk is saying about socialism, that one is based on his own concept. And the student saying that it is his right to move to a particular place or any place of his choice, that one is also correct. So that is what I want to disclose in this video. You that watch this video, what is your opinion? Drop it in the comment section. Let's know what you think. See you in the next one. But don't forget to follow me on this channel by subscribing. And bye.